Alright, this video just shows you quickly how to use or draw lines at angles. So far we've already shown you how to draw lines either horizontally or vertically using the ortho command. So I've got my metric border file open before having created the metric border, and I'm going to use the line command. If I want lines to go straight across, I can turn on ortho down at the bottom of the screen and draw a line straight across, or up and down. Alright, notice that as I move my cursor, it will only allow me to go straight across horizontally or up and down vertically. Now what if I want to draw a line at an angle? So in order to do that, what we're going to do is use the polar command. Notice that down next to ortho is polar. When I click on polar, the ortho turns off, and what I can do is I could actually use polar all the time and not use ortho, because if I go along here, although it will allow me to draw at other angles, it will show me when I'm at 0, 90, 270, or sorry, 180, 270, and 360, or 0, back to 0 again. Notice that in Autocad, the angles work in the positive direction are in counterclockwise rotation. So 0, counterclockwise up to 90, that's positive 90. And then another positive 90 would take me to 180, another positive 90 to 270, and so on, back to 360 or 0. Going the other way would be negative angle increments. So if I want to draw a line at an angle, what I can do now is go down to polar, right-click with my mouse, and settings, and set whatever I want the angle to be in here. I can choose one of the presets. If I'm going to use an angle quite often, I could add the angles and then say new, and then it will show up in this list. Or at any time I can type in an angle. So I'm going to type in 53 here. Say OK. And now when I draw lines, notice that it does a nice thing. It still gives me the 0, the 90, the 180. Oh, actually it's not giving me the 180 anymore. And the 270. It should be giving me those, but it's not. So it'll still give me the 0, but now if I go up and keep on rotating until I get to 53 degrees, notice that now that it gives me a ray. Now if I want to type in a distance, if I want that line to be, say, 50 millimeters long at an angle of 53 degrees, I just type in 53. I don't click with the mouse, and then hit enter. And now that's at exactly 53. If I wanted to rotate now another 53 degrees, I can keep on going until I find the next increment. Okay? So every increment of 53 degrees will show up here. So I'm just going to undo that one, just to bring it lower on the screen. And again, here I'm at 0. If I go to 53, then my next one would be at 106, and there it is. You can see the ray. I don't have to go a certain distance away. Don't be finicky, don't be way down close to the beginning of the line, but just point in that direction and now type in the distance that you want it to be. So the next one would be 159, and carrying on, we just keep on going and we find all of the angles. Up to there, and then really this is the first 53, but again it does show me the 0 mark. Okay. I had it before where it was showing me the 90 as well, which I like, but anyway, we'll leave that there. So in order to draw angles, I can use the polar command. There's another way to enter angles as well. Okay, so here, I'll just show you something else with the polar. I can actually enter negative angles. Settings, type in negative, just put a negative sign in front of the angle, say OK, and now if I type this in, if I go around, it's going to find the first increment of 53 going in the clockwise direction. So 360 minus 53 is 307. Okay, and then it doesn't seem to give me the other angles as I work around. It'll only give me the first negative angle after the start of my rotation. Okay, so again, that was polar, right-click, settings, and then change your angle. Now there's another way to do it without using polar. So if I turn off polar, and now I've got my angle on, or let's just say that I've even got ortho on. right? And I want to draw a line that's, again, 30 at an angle of 53. Instead of using polar, I can use what's called relative coordinates. Relative coordinates mean that the coordinates are relative to the previous point. So here, my start point of the line is the previous point, and whatever I type in will be relative to that first point. And so to make it relative, in order to tell AutoCAD to use relative coordinates rather than absolute, and we'll talk about that separately, I would type in Shift 2, or really what I want is the @ symbol. Notice that the @ symbol shows up down on the command line. I didn't have to go and put my cursor down there. Now I would type in the distance that I want. So let's say that I want it to be 30 millimeters long, and I want it to be an angle 53. Again, I'm just choosing 53. Well, actually, let's use a different angle. Let's use 67. To tell it the angle, now what I do is I type in the less than symbol. So Shift, comma, which is the less than symbol on your keyboard, and now I type in the angle, so 67. And then hit Enter, and there's my line at whatever angle I wanted it to be at. If I wanted it to go, I'm going to draw another one here. If I wanted it to go in the negative direction, I could type in, again, to tell it that it's relative, 30, and then negative 67. And then it would, oops, oh, I forgot the less than symbol. Sorry about that. I'm just going to undo. And go across here. I'm going to do Shift @ 30, and then the less than symbol, minus 67. Hit Enter, and now I've got a line going down at 67 in the clockwise direction. And those are two good ways to draw lines at angles, and hopefully you can make use of that in Object 2. Exercise. Thanks very much.